Hello everyone, my name is Nuvola and welcome to a new video. This week we're building a train station. It includes 4 minecart stations to take you to wherever you want to go. For example, your diamond mine. It also includes 4 item transport systems, which, for example, can take your ores from down in your diamond mine all the way up to the surface. Both of these systems should work on both Java and Bedrock Edition, and you can find the material list in the description below. Now, of course, I know that there are quicker ways to get up and down, for example by dropping down a shaft and landing in water. However, I think that minecarts are in the game for a reason. It's way more fun to use those to get up and down into your mine than to just drop down a hole in the ground. Before I start with the tutorial, first let me show you around the building for a bit to show you what's included. Let's go! When you enter the building, you will notice that there are 4 closed sections with an item frame like this and a double chest. These are the item transport systems. In the middle, there are 2 minecarts on each side that, for example, can take you down to, well, wherever you need to go. I've created 2 stations to go to a lush cave and a dripstone cave. Now of course, you can put any location here you like. So you could create a system towards your base, or you can create a gold mine and a diamond mine, whatever you like. When we head upstairs, using the ladder right here, we have a couple of rooms that we can use for storage. For example, if you find any coal, you can keep that right here. And in the room over here, you could keep all of your redstone equipment. Or create a little bit of a crafting space for yourself, or store your TNT here. You can create a room to store your rails in your minecarts, or create a little automatic furnace, for example. You can do whatever you like and build whatever you need. It's a game. Get creative. Let's, for example, say we want to go to the iron mine. All we need to do is hop into the minecart and press this button. This will take us down to the required Y level. The best Y level to mine iron is level 16. Once we're down here, all we need to do is disembark from the minecart, and there we are. There's your iron mine. You can go out, get all the iron and perhaps stone blocks you'll ever need. And now on the side right here, you can see the item transport system. You can place down all of the goodies that you've collected and that you want to transport up to the surface in this double chest right here. And what you'll notice is that it counts down. That's because a hopper underneath is sucking out the items, which is transporting it into a minecart with a chest, using this small redstone system behind the wall right here. I'll explain how that works in a minute. Now there's the minecart, and as you can see, it's being loaded. And once it's full, it will go up to the surface again. So shall we. Here we are. Now over here, all of the items that come from the iron mine should end up in the chest right here. It's not counting up for some reason, so let's see what's going on. The minecart is definitely being emptied, so that part is working. Now as soon as the minecart is empty, it should go out again. And as you can see, it works. And the chest is also full. So I guess that's just a weird glitch, I guess. Anyway, all of the items that you put in the chest down below will eventually end up in the chest up here. Why is that handy? Well, it means that you can go on even longer mining trips before you have to head up back to the surface to deposit all of your stuff. So it's efficient and, more importantly, it's fun. So how do these systems work? Let's start with our own transport system, which is very simple and requires 1 powered rail and 1 button on each side of the system. When we press this button, it lights up the powered rail down below. As soon as the button releases, the powered rail is not powered anymore. So whenever you return, your minecart will stop. Now do note that this button needs to be of a wood type. A stone button releases sooner and it will be too short for you to move. Now if you're moving from down below towards the surface, you want to make sure that the railroad has enough powered rails to get you all the way there. So you will need quite a bit of gold for this. You can power powered rails using redstone torches next to it. So as I've shown you before, All you need to do is get into a minecart, press the button, and you will go up to the surface or down into the mine. Now the item transport system is a little bit more complicated because it has some more redstone involved. So let's go check that out and let me explain you how that works. When we get to the item transport system, there's actually two different systems. One for loading up the minecart with chest and one for unloading. Let's start with the loading side down below. This minecart with chest is currently traveling continuously between the lower part and the upper part of the system, because the powered rail over there is powered right now. That's because this redstone torch is currently powering the redstone dust underneath, which is powering the redstone repeater, which is powering the block in front of it, which is powering the powered rail. Now, whenever this hopper is being filled with items, it triggers this comparator and turns it on, which powers the block behind it, turning off the redstone torch, turning off the lower part of the system, unpowering the powered rail. That stops the minecart with chest underneath the hopper, loading all of the items that you've put in the chest into the minecart with chest. As soon as the hopper is empty and all of the items have been transferred into the minecart, the comparator will turn off again, powering the rail again and sending the minecart on its way. You can see that the comparator turns on and the rest of the system turns off. Now let's wait until the minecart is completely filled. There we go, the system turns on again and the minecart goes on its way. That's how the loading side of the system works. Now how does that work on the unloading side? As you can see, the minecart has gone up and is now hovering above a hopper, which is feeding into a double chest. Pretty much works the same way as the loading system, but it's vice versa. Now the comparator is next to a hopper with a block behind it again and a redstone torch attached to it. But instead of a redstone dust underneath this torch, we've got a block on top of it. The signal from the torch into that block is going into the repeater, which is going into a block that's powering the powered rail. Now, as soon as the hopper is empty and everything is loaded into the double chest, the comparator will turn off again and the minecart will start going. I hope that this makes sense and that you understand how it works, because I think it's about time that we start working on the build, isn't it? So without further ado, let's start building. Let's go. Here you can see the layout of the build. We are going to start and you'll see a couple of places where there's a stairway going down into the ground. These are the locations where the minecarts will go into the surface. Start by placing down columns of spruce wood 5 blocks high on the outside of the building. Skip the 2 on the side because these will be higher. You should end up with 16 columns of 5 blocks high. Now move to the side and place down 2 more spruce columns on each side of 11 blocks high. There we go. The remaining columns on the inside should also be 5 blocks high. Now we are going to create beams on top of these columns, going from the front towards the back. So these are on the 6th level. Also connect these horizontal beams to the columns of 11 blocks high. Also connect the 11 block high beams on the side and do this on the front and the back as well. You should end up with a frame like this. Counting from the outside, on the 3rd block, place down the spruce wood as well and place one on top of the column right here. Also do this on the back side and then mirror it to the other side as well. Build another 10 blocks on top of these columns. So in total, this should be 16 blocks high. On the top level, create a horizontal beam going from the front towards the back. Count 3 blocks down and place another beam, also from the front towards the back. Make sure that it sticks out 1 block on the 16th and the 12th level. There we go. That's your complete frame out of spruce wood. We are now going to fill in all of the walls. For this, grab a mixture of oak planks and stripped oak wood and fill in all of the walls on the front, the back and on the side. Place the stripped oak a little bit randomly throughout the planks to get a really nice detail. Again, fill in each of the walls at the front side, the back side, and on the sides, and make sure that on the sides you build up a little bit towards the middle by placing down 2 blocks on top of the 5 block high walls, just like this. Mirror this on the other side as well. Now don't forget the interior walls as well. There we go. That's all of the walls for the first floor. Now you can fill in the ceiling. Fill in the middle using oak planks. You can use some extra stripped oak wood if you have some laying around. And now at both sides you have 3 compartments. You want to fill in the ceiling of the middle sections of these compartments. Do not fill in the ones on the left and right. I made that mistake right here. You don't have to do this, because later on in the video I will remove these again because they end up being in the way of the roof. At the back side of the building, create a ladder at this location. Place down a column of stripped spruce wood and climb up the ladders. Once you're there, we can create the walls of the second floor. Fill in these walls for 5 blocks and create 2 windows in the back using spruce fences. Do this on the other side as well. And there you go. Make sure that you can still go down the ladder in the corner right here. We'll fill in those compartments later on. First I want to focus on the second floor. So get back up. And now create the rooms on the side, where we are also going to create a little window in the side using spruce fences. And on top of that window, place an extra block in the middle to make sure that the roof will line up. You can create 2 windows in the side walls as well. Use a mixture of oak planks and stripped oak wood and fill in the windows using spruce fences. You could also use glass panes, for example, but in my opinion that makes it too luxurious, if that's the right word. So I prefer to use fences. And that's 2 out of 3 levels already, so you're getting along pretty fast. We're now going to work on the big clock on the front and back side of the building. Place down oak blocks in the corners right here, and then place down 3 white wool in between them. Then place 3 levels of white wool, place oak blocks in the corners again, and 3 white wool in between. On top of this you can build a pyramid out of oak blocks, because this is where the roof is going to fit in. Then you want to repeat this on the back side as well. You can fill in the side walls using oak blocks on the top level and create some windows in here using spruce fences. Again, use a mixture of stripped oak and oak planks, and there you go. That's all of the walls of the building. It's time to work On the roof, using spruce slabs, build up your way on the side just like this. And on the front and back side, we are then going to place spruce stairs, alternating between normal stairs and upside down stairs. When you get to the middle, you should end up with an upside down stair, on top of which you can place a stripped spruce wood with a spruce slab on top. Now alternate spruce slabs and upside down stairs to the other side of the entry, and on top of each stair you can place down a stripped spruce wood with a slab on top. On top of each slab you can place down a stair. Continue your way to the other side and build up using spruce slabs at the side again. On the little balcony right here, place down a couple of spruce fences. And finally, fill in the roof using Deepslate brick slabs. This is the point where I'm going to delete a part of the ceiling again. So I hope that you didn't do that earlier on, because it wasn't necessary. Should end up with a roof looking like this. And now you want to do this on the back side as well. There we go. Now for the balcony, you could create a doorway and use it as an actual balcony. Or like me, you can place down a couple of leaves to add a little bit of color to a pretty brown and yellowish build, and place leaves next to the windows as well. On the side, you can connect both roofs by placing down some spruce stairs like this, with some slabs next to it, and a spruce stair underneath the window with some leaves next to it. Place down a spruce fence underneath, from which you can hang a lantern later on. Moving up a layer, place down upside down stairs every other block and fill in the gaps with spruce slabs. Then at the side, place down an upside down stair and use slabs to work your way towards the middle. Fill in the roof using Deepslate brick slabs and mirror this to the other side. The final touch on this level is to place down some spruce trapdoors on top of the slabs. This gives it a bit more detail. And in the end, this is it. Time for the final roof at the top of the tower. Start on the outermost spruce block with a normal stair. Alternate upside down stairs and normal stairs to the other side, and then build your way towards the middle, where in the middle you end up with a stair facing outwards. Connect the other side, make your way all around, and there's the outlining of your roof. At the edge of the roof you can place down a spruce fence with a trapdoor on top, from which you can hang a lantern again later on, and connect the top of the roof by alternating spruce slabs and spruce trapdoors. Oh, sorry, as mentioned, trapdoors, and make your way to the other side. Finally, fill in this roof as well using Deepslate brick stairs. And there you go. All of the roof is filled in. Next, let's work on the clock. This can be a bit tricky, especially in survival, so good luck. Start by placing down 2 upside down spruce stairs in the corners right here, and another upside down spruce stair in the middle. Connect these using spruce slabs. and now you want to repeat this on the top part of the clock as well. Can be a bit tricky to place these, so you may need to remove some blocks temporarily. There we go. Place a normal stair right here. Connect them using slabs. That's looking pretty good. Place down an upside down stair right here and a normal one right there. Connect it using a stripped spruce wood. Repeat this on the other side as well. For the clockwork, you want to place down a hopper facing towards the right. So like that. And connect one chain to the right of it and 2 chains to the top. It's now 3 o'clock. You can use polished black stone buttons or just regular stone buttons to indicate the times on the clock. And you can finish the clockwork by placing down spruce trapdoors on these locations. Gives the clock a bit more of a rounded look. And also place down trapdoors on top of the spruce wood. Now, there you go. All you gotta do now is repeat this on the back side as well. Good luck. It's about time that we add some lighting to the build. So hang down some lanterns, for example from the top of the roof and below the clock. And one from the spruce fence down here as well. At the front and back side you can add some extra detail by placing down spruce wood in front of the outer and inner columns and hang lanterns from the 2 middle columns using spruce fences. Let me show you how to build that on the back side. Now to add some color and make it look as if this building has been here for a while, add some leaves randomly placed around the build. Time for the functional part of the build, which is the minecart stations. Let's light it up a little using a couple of spruce fences and lanterns. And then for the personnel transport, as I would like to call it, start with a stripped spruce column at the end in the middle right here. Place down stripped spruce next to this column on the 5th and 3rd level as well. And this leaves a gap where you can put a block that indicates where this is going to go. Place down a hanging sign in front of this 5th block and indicate where the destination of this minecart is gonna go. For example, a lush cave. On the other side, just for an example, let's put a dripstone cave. To indicate the blocks that we can find there, let's put a moss block at the lush cave and a dripstone block at the dripstone cave. You could also place down a lamp here, if for example the system is finished and operational. Now place down a couple of buttons, and as I said earlier, these need to be wooden buttons. Place down a powered rail, test if it goes on if you press the button, and now you can create your rail system all the way down to your destination. Good luck! Now final thing is that to make sure that you don't fall into the hole, place down 2 temporary blocks right here. Place some spruce trapdoors at the start and at the sides of these temporary blocks. Remove those blocks, flip the trapdoors, and now you cannot fall down into the hole. A little safety precaution. Add your minecarts and repeat this on the other side. I decided to create an iron mine and a copper mine here, just as examples. In my own world, I would probably build an iron mine, a copper mine, a gold mine and a diamond mine. Let's work on the item transport system. Let's create it for the iron mine. Start with a double chest right here at the start of the compartment with a hopper facing into it at the back. Place down a powered rail on top of that hopper. Behind the hopper, place down a comparator facing into the hopper with the 2 sticks facing towards it. Place down a solid block behind it with a redstone torch attached to it. Place a solid block on top of the redstone torch. Place a redstone repeater facing towards the front, right here, and place another solid block in front of it, so that the powered rail should get powered. That's it for the unloading system. Now you can build your way all the way down into the mine and create the loading system. But first, let's close off this compartment by placing down 2 upside down spruce stairs right here on top of the chest, so that we can still open it and fill in the wall using stripped spruce wood, just like so. Put down an item frame here to indicate which items end up here, or place a block of raw iron in the wall for example, and after that you can build your way downstairs to where you're going to create the loading system. So imagine that we're all the way downstairs. To create the loading system, place down a powered rail right here, where you want to load your stuff. Place a solid block behind it to make sure that the minecart gets pushed on its way. Place a hopper facing down on top of this powered rail, and place down a double chest on top of that. Make sure that you can still open it. Place down a solid block next to the powered rail as well. Place down a comparator facing into the hopper on top of it. Place down a solid block behind it. You want to crouch down and face the back of the comparator for this. Add a redstone torch to the back of this block. Place a redstone dust below it, which should light up, and a redstone repeater in front of it, which should also light up, powering the rail underneath the hopper. There we go. It's as easy as that. All you need to do on your own is to work this into a corner or into a wall so that you don't see the redstone signal if you don't want to see it, and make sure that you can still enter the chest and drop off your stuff. You want to repeat this for all of the other compartments so that you end up with 4 item transport systems. You can also use those other compartments for more minecart stations. You don't necessarily need to make 4 minecart stations and 4 item transport stations. You can mix these. Do whatever you need and want in your world. Now, once you're happy with the distribution of your minecart stations and item transport stations, and you've connected all of the roads, there's some final details that I want to show you. For the interior, start with some horizontal beams going from one side to the other side of the hallway, just to make sure that it looks a little bit less boring, I guess. And then you can work on the upstairs portion of the building. Make a ceiling out of spruce slabs on both sides and cover up the back of the wall as well. I'm just using, quite simply, a bunch of stripped spruce wood on top of some slabs and trapdoors. Don't feel obligated to do this as well. Do whatever you think looks best. You can put down a trapdoor on top of the ladder. Makes it a little bit easier to go up and down if you ask me. And decorate the build any way you like. For example, create a bit of storage here and a place where you can put down your TNT, or a crafting area for example. Create some storage for your rails and your minecarts. Create an auto furnace or a place where you can keep all of your redstone parts. And finally, you want to put in a ceiling at the top of the tower as well. Where you can place down a spruce fence in the middle with about 5 chains coming down. Add a cross shape out of spruce fences below and hang some lanterns from these. And there we go. That's it. You're done. Congratulations, this was a pretty big building to make, so I hope that it brings you and your friends a whole lot of fun. Enjoy! Now, if you enjoyed this video and the tutorial was easy enough to follow, Of course, leave a like and stick around, consider subscribing. If you do have any questions or suggestions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. And join our Discord server with over 1400 people in there already. Showcase your own builds or get help building this one. If you want a world download, then that's available for Patreon and YouTube members. And I think that's it. Have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers!